Now, we got so many games, Shane, so we got to move on. Let's kick it over to the night game there in the SEC East, first conference game of the schedule. Kentucky defends home field, beats Missouri 35 to 28. And this game, Shane, lived up to the hype. And, this is a weird case because I was touting Kentucky all week after, how they opened the game looked so impressive. But this is a weird situation where I think I came, I'm not down on Kentucky, certainly after, an outstanding performance. But I think I'm even more impressed with Missouri, how they continued to fight, even though they lost the game because, I thought Kentucky would win. I thought they'd win a bit by a larger margin. And it looked early like they would, but Missouri continued to fight. Will Levis continues to make his presence known, and Chris Rodriguez had himself one hell of a day like we suspected he would. 207 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Of course, he had some fumbles, Shane. That cracked the door open for Missouri, and they took advantage. Yeah. But this was a hell of a fight that, two really good teams just trading blows here, didn't you think?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, man, Mizzou lost this game, but they're going to win a lot this year. I'm telling you, that is a program on the rise, and you saw that. They didn't when Kentucky came out, guns a-blazing, it felt like this thing was going to open wide open, but Mizzou just never quit. It's a scrappy little team, and that's why it got down to the final drive, which we kind of expected when you look at these two programs. They play each other tough. But, yeah, Mizzou, top to bottom, has got a great program. Kentucky, I'm going to tell you right now, I think they got a little bit of humble pie too because they were doing great, but it just felt like, I don't know, maybe they got a little cocky. Maybe they got a little arrogant or something like that, but they didn't put this game away when they had opportunities, and they're not going to have that same opportunity on all the programs that they're going to face. So I think this is huge for both programs, and I don't think Mizzou backs down. I'm not worried about their program. I truly believe this team's going to upset a few folks in the SEC.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Connor Bazelak, he had a hell of a performance. You're not going to win many games in the SEC throwing the ball 52 times like he had to do, but no. He had almost 300 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception, so let's give Kentucky credit for that. But Eli Drakowitz in the second half, man, I don't want to say he exposed Kentucky's defense, but he knew how to take advantage of it certainly. And I thought late in the game when they blocked that field goal, I had a feeling they were going to go down the length of the field and score the game-winning touchdown. And I said it, man, they got to go for 2 here because it would have felt like they stole one from Kentucky because Kentucky, to me, Kentucky was the better team. Maybe that had something to do with the home field advantage, but it just felt like one of those where it certainly wouldn't have been luck if Missouri won it, but I just feel like they would have felt like they were getting away with one. And how about this stat? Here's a wild one, Shay. Tyler Beatty, he leads the nation in all-purpose yards. Missouri's outstanding running back. He's on pace to be all SEC. But the defense, dead last in rushing yards allowed, dead last total yards in the Power 5. So they have got to get that corrected because outside of fumbles, Will Levis had another interception that was, I think it was on him. He threw it behind the receiver a little bit and got tipped. But Kentucky, again, we were both very impressed with Missouri in this one. But if they were playing maybe like a Georgia or a Florida, you have these turnovers that's going to come back to haunt you, don't you think?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It just. You can't, and I'm sure film study you're going to be able to, Mark's going to find a lot of this, but there was some dumb errors that they made that allowed Mizzou to stay in this game. And I'm not saying that Mizzou, again, it sounds like I'm making Mizzou to sound like a bad team. They're really not. They're a great team. It's just Kentucky could have won by more. And like you said, if they play like they did against Mizzou, there's no way they're going to beat Florida. There's no way they're going to beat Georgia. They got to play flawless ball. So they got to clean up all that stuff if they really want to make a run at the East.
Now let's kick it over to the post-game comments, Shane, from Mark Stoops and Eli Drinkowitz.
Some stuff you want to clean up. What's it say about your program if you make those kind of mistakes and still be a quality SEC opponent.
Yeah, I think that says a lot because you saw spurts out there tonight where we were pretty good, and I just got to get some things ironed out. I mean, we just got to get a better killer instinct. When we have an opportunity to ice it, and like I said, I don't want to single out any one guy, but some of those things are just really pissing me off. We can't fumble the football. There's no excuse for that, and got a chance to really put a fork in him. You know what I mean? And can't do it.
Especially his toughness.
I mean, just you can't say enough good things about him. Really, just so tough. Takes shots, just bounces back up, makes the long pass he had that was both two long passes were critical that he hauled in today that weren't easy catches. Those are difference makers. You've heard me talk about it in here for a long time. You got to have some guys that could make some big time plays, and it's nice to have them on our team.
What do you attribute the fumbles in particular to? Is that just?
Well, I tell you, I didn't like the fumble because I felt like there were other things on his mind prior to crossing that goal line. But Chris, and I know Chris, and he came back, and he will be a beast, and he'll play hard, and I have all the confidence in him. But that doesn't mean we're not going to correct him, and he will. He'll get it fixed, and he bounced back, and he knows better.
Eli, I know I'm sure not the night you wanted from the run defense. What did you see? Was there any specific issue with the defensive front, or was it just a matter of a few different things? Or what did you see there?
We got our butt whipped up front and weren't able to stop the run. I mean, until I watched the film, I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Coach, just what you think of the way your team kept? It seemed like you made the plays when you needed to make the play. I know you didn't end up winning the game, but
yeah,
I'm
I'm proud of my football team. Really freaking proud of them. I mean, they fought their butt off in a hostile crowd, down. Didn't start the game the way we wanted to. The second half didn't start the way we wanted to. They freaking fought their butt off, blocked a field goal, and gave us a chance to win the game. We didn't get it done, but there's no reason to hang our heads. There's no reason to panic. Anybody needs to panic or jump on Twitter and go crazy. Like, relax. It's week 2 on the road night SEC football game versus a good opponent. We had a chance to win. We didn't get it done. We'll go back to work tomorrow, and we'll go to fixing it. And that's what we're going to do. A lot of football season left. Whole heck of a lot of football season left. And I tell you what, I saw a bunch of fighters in that locker room. A bunch of friggin' fighters on the sideline. And that's a football team that's going to continue to improve and get better. They're going to fight to improve and get better. I don't know how many games we're going to win, but I know we're going to fight.
Along the lines of just one game and taking positives looking forward, can you describe the toughness you saw from Tyler Beatty in the second efforts and how that can help your team in general?
He's a hell of a football player. I mean, the dude is playing his butt off. He doesn't get very many breaks. He's a factor in both the run game and the pass game, and has to run a lot of routes, a lot of yardage. I mean, he's a really good football player, and we need him to continue to be in order for our offense to have any chance at success.